Hello and welcome to Wrestle Talk with Rabbit Beaver, and I'm your host, the elusive Rabbit Beaver. And joining me today, you may know him from The Walking Dead. You may have seen him on great shows and in music videos by none other than some of your favorite artists, such as Kid Rock and lovely Katrina, and so many more. You don't even know. It's TKO. Josh Turner is here today. TKO, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful, and alongside the absolutely precious Indy, who decided to join us in the beginning here.
That's absolutely fine. We'd love to have her as a special guest. It's always great to have special guests here with us. Angela Holiday came in right immediately and says, hello, TKO. How you doing?
Everybody gets to see the raw, real, true side of not just TKO, but the man behind TKO, Josh Turner, as we are here today, and we're making sure to look appropriate for you, showing the respect to the East Tennessee Tag Team titles, the Wrestling for a Cause TV title, the United States title, the 24/7 Hero title, a champion, as always, in myself.
Now, wait, you just said that you're the Wrestling for a Cause champion. You want to talk about Wrestling for a Cause a little bit? Let's get into that.
Let's jump right in with Wrestling for a Cause, because Wrestling for a Cause is one of the places that I absolutely love, and I cherish and respect to the world's end and back. So they are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we also perform wrestling shows. And during those wrestling shows, every dime they make, no matter what they put in, every dime they make benefits Children's Hospital and helps the kids. And that is something extremely close to me. We have some of the children attend our shows, and we make it very special for them. And it's just something that, if you don't know Wrestling for a Cause, you definitely should. They've had former champions, nobody, of course, better than myself. But they've also had Luke Gallows, Matt Cardona, you name it, they've been there. Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, has held a title for them. Still, all those guys a tier below yours truly, but it is what it is. And the other great thing about it is Wrestling for a Cause, a really exciting fact that I wanted to bring up absolutely first right here for you. Cobra Strikes Back, coming to SOM with Santino Marella, is now partnered up with Wrestling for a Cause for a portion of the proceeds will be donated on behalf of SOM to Wrestling for a Cause to help the kids in the hospital.
Now,
Wrestling for a Cause is with us.
Santino Marella is actually doing some stuff with SOM here coming up in April 5th and 6th of the 2025. The seminars are going to be held at 128.5 Rivers Plaza for those that don't know. Let's put it on the screen for you guys so you can see it. And he's also going to be a part of a show that's going to be taking place there on Sunday.
It's one of the best flyers I have ever seen in my life.
Absolutely. I would agree with you, Josh Turner. And Santino is hyped about this. He's been chatting all through the lines. And I think that you had a big part with this, according with Wrestle for a Cause, to get him down here to help you guys, correct?
Yes, but before we go any further about the flyer, it's a terrible thing to have to do, but I'm going to do it. The credit goes to Casey Kazana for getting this flyer put together with, I want to say, I don't want to mess it up, but if you check out the Facebook page, you can see the guy who made it. He's overseas. It's one of his first United States flyers, and this kid did an absolutely amazing job on this flyer for the Cobra Strikes Back. As far as Santino coming in, me and Santino have a very long history. We've known each other for over 20 plus years almost. I met him back in 2003, 2004, when I was at Ohio Valley Wrestling training there under Nick Dinsmore and Rip Rogers as well. He came in, we hit it off, and we've been pals ever since.
Now you
one of us, took the respectful high road. The other one took the let's punch guys in the face and end up on TMZ road.
You said Nick Dinsmore. That's Eugene. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And how is that hanging out with a clown like Eugene all day?
Oh, my goodness. So Nick, the craziest thing about Nick is one of the most, if not the absolute most talented guys in the ring. I've seen him out wrestle guys that you would be like, there's no possible way somebody can be better than them. And Nick is just a brilliant mastermind when it comes to professional wrestling. And when it comes to being a trainer, Nick was phenomenal. And he knew instantly if you had it or not. And if you had it, he was there with you. This is actually the living room. That's why it looks like a toy store threw up behind me.
So that's what they were asking. They asked if he was in his bedroom and laughed at him a little bit.
Yeah, so I decorated the toys. That way it would not look like Toys R Us threw up in the floor. Yes.
Where's Casey's picture since you're talking about him?
Casey's picture is in my bathroom. As soon as you lift the toilet seat up. Now, I would hang a picture of Joe Kazana in my living room.
Living legend himself, the golden boy, Joe Kazana, deserves a spot in that living room.
A funny thing, actually, about KC it's pretty funny, and I love the kid to death, but Bebop has changed his favorite wrestler of all time. Has changed his favorite person of all time to KC Kazana. He is now Bebop KC Kazana.
That's great.
If somebody makes him mad, he lets them know that him and KC are going to double team them and fight. That's
a big thing there. That's
so,
awesome.
I hear Casey Kazana's name on a daily basis, probably at least 30 to 50 times just from him alone.
He loves the man. He wants you to tag with him is what he wants to do.
Before we turn this into the Put Casey Over show, we spoke Wrestling for a Cause. Another one that's extremely close to me is Fighting for Autism. Fighting for Autism also is a nonprofit, and I got started with them in the most unique way ever. I never knew anything about special needs or any of this. I was just, let's call it what it is. I was a scumbag that didn't care about anybody but myself, and I liked to fight. And I was working with The Walking Dead, and I did a show in Elizabethton, Tennessee, and I met a girl by the name of Kaylee Sidians, and she was autistic herself, is all, and she had never attended a host show. Well, she stayed through this entire show. And me and her, this kid just grew instantly to me like one of my own. Me and her mom and dad, we all connected. I've been on vacation with them. We went to vacation together at the beach. I absolutely love this family. Now, what's crazy is that's what got me to link up and start taking a stand for special needs, for autism, for anybody that had any type of special needs. And I dove in 100%, learned everything. I've been to schools, hospitals, EMTs, police stations, fire stations, you name it. I have went there and I have helped teach people how to adapt and help when it comes to taking care of somebody with special needs instead of not understanding and getting frustrated. It's one of the things I love to do. Fast forward roughly 12, 13 years later, Bebop is born. Now, all of a sudden, it's like I was set up by the big guy upstairs. Here I've done all this special needs work. Now my son is special needs and autistic. If there wasn't a plan there, you tell me what it was. A couple other things I'd like to mention just really fast. I always support mental health awareness. Mental health is something very close to me. I won't get into it because it's that close. Pops for Patients, which is now Playtime for Patients. Absolutely love them. Samoa Joe backs them. Randy Lee is the one who started it, and Randy has put his entire heart, blood, sweat, and soul into this, and they collect toys for children's hospitals as well. Had the honor of doing a lot for them. The Julia Barber Foundation, another one extremely close to my heart that I've got to help quite a bit. All of your animal shelters, I do a lot of work for those because I love animals. And then I've also done so much and will always do so much to help with a group called Waiting to Hear. If you don't know about Waiting to Hear, check them up. They help deaf kids hear through cochlear implants. With that being said, the last thing I'll touch on this is a lot of people ask, how do you explain autism? How would you explain that?
Well, it's really hard to explain because it's different on each child. Some are light driven, some people are sound driven, some people are mentally driven, like they can see an ocular and their ocular nerves see something totally different. Like we might see a triangle, they might see a circle. So it's totally different on each level. So it's hard to explain.
There's an easy way to explain autism to somebody that may not know. And don't worry, everybody, we're going to get into the juicy stuff later. It's me. It's going to happen. But if you had to explain autism and I said, hey, let's go to Walmart and I buy an Xbox and I get a PlayStation game and I pop it in, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right.
Is it broke? Should I throw the whole thing in the trash?
No, absolutely not.
It's a different system. It's a different operating format. It does the exact same thing as a PlayStation, but it's just a different format. Boom. You just explained autism.
Absolutely.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a little break here. And we got the professional stuff. I got to take this junk off.
Well, before you do, let's see about how, if anybody wanted to get involved with fighting for autism, how could they do that, sir?
They can hit up Fighting for Autism. They can hit up Wrestling for a Cause, or most important, they can hit me up, and we'll get it rolling. And we will take anybody and everybody that wants to help and get this going, because it is the voice for the voiceless. Somebody's got to stand up. If we're not doing it for the kids, what are we doing it for? They're our future. So we got to pave the way for them. But they're our future. We are the now. So everybody watching, don't hold back. Give me your honest comments. If you want to know what I think of somebody, let's throw it out there, and I'll tell you exactly what I think of them.
All right, well, let's just get right into it. So here recently, we've seen a lot of stuff take place. You said that you like to take care of pets and make sure that they're all wonderful and everything's good with them. Is that why you partnered with Mantis at the School of Morton?
So it's a little bit of why. I actually thought he was a praying mantis, and turns out he doesn't do any of that. So he's not a mantis, but he is like having a squirrel with ADHD. So that's pretty fun to watch.
I was going to say it's like having a drunk toddler around you all the time, but I like yours too.
Close enough. It's fun. It's a good time.
And it seems like you all have been on a roll here recently, including doing this. You guys won the East Tennessee tag team champions, not the heavyweight, but the tag team champions. And you've got the title right there in front of us. Let me switch it right back over to you so they can see that beautiful thing. Look at that. How does it feel to gather gold from one of the greatest tag teams that has stepped foot inside of SOM and doing it at the bunkhouse?
It feels like a typical day at the office. I made people cry. Legit true story. I'll be nice and not name names yet. We'll save it for later. But if you ever wondered what somebody looked like and you could compare a face to Toothless the Dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, I'm talking about that guy. You know who you are. Boom! Clothesline. Oh, you hit me too hard. I'm hurt so bad. That's why you couldn't measure up. Because you know what? I'm a man. I'll punch you in the face. One thing about wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't ballet.
Very true. It is like a dance, however, but it's not ballet, and it's something that you can get stomped on if you rub the person the wrong way. Look at that beautiful championship there. Let's talk about
the difference in me and this guy. This guy hangs out that we spoke of at mud shows. I hang out with gold around my waist.
Lots of it, apparently.
Oh yeah, this is just the brink. We can go all day long.
And as a champion in the wrestling world, you have lots of demands on you all the time. So how do you stay prepared constantly for the next challenge that's going to face you?
Are we allowed to say drugs?
Well, yes, I'll allow it.
We're not going to say that. Don't do drugs. Do not be like Evan Golden and do drugs.
Evan Golden. Now, you're talking about the infamous Blue Chew episode there, aren't you?
There might be a story there. Yes, there might be a good Blue Chew story. If you look up Blue Chew, the face of Blue Chew is Evan Golden. That's all I'm going to say.
Blue Chew is Evan Golden.
You got to stay mentally focused. And the biggest thing is you can't be afraid. You can't make excuses, and you can't be a wuss. You can't sit around and have a pity party and wonder why you're not elevating yourself and going nowhere because you're too afraid to look in the mirror and know you just suck. If you don't put in the work, it's not going to get anywhere.
That's absolutely right.
And that's even, telling about myself. If you go back and you look back probably the last 8, 9, heck, even 10 years, I almost slipped up. Even 10 years, I did not put out good quality. I kind of lost myself. I had a couple health issues happen. I hit a pity party myself, got depressed, let myself go. And I was fully about to be like, you know what? I can't go anymore. It's not me. This is terrible. But I had some really good people talk to me and be like, this isn't you. This isn't how you go out. You're better than this. Be better than this. And the main people, I give credit for that. In the top of the absolute list is, it's going to say it, it's going to get held over my head forever. The main one that did the most to convince me to get myself back and to work hard again and be in the gym and all this is Santino Marella is number 2. He was one of the top guys. He would be almost tied for number 1. Another one who's not number 1 that I always give credit to is Joe. Talking to Joe Kazana, somebody I respect more than anybody that you could ever possibly want to respect. He set the record straight to me, just straightforward, and let me know that I need to take control. So Santino and Joe right up there. But the number 1 guy who brought me out of that slump and got me to fight back the way I used to and the way I love to do is actually Casey Kazana.
Really?
Like, that kid motivated me, and now it went from motivation to competition. I always gotta, remind him that the older guys, we still got the higher arch.
Speaking of competition with Casey Kazana, now he's a champion in his own right in the National Wrestling Alliance. He's holding those U.S. tag team titles with his brother.
Absolutely.
And since we've got the half of the East Tennessee heavyweight champions right here, is there a little bit of competition that you could see title versus title one day?
I mean, I could see it, but were they going to do it? No, because long story short, not KC, but one of AJ's former partners who was not even credibly enough to be compared to the scum on the bottom of my shoe got punched in the face for real and cried like a little baby and tried to call the cops because he couldn't handle a man-to-man altercation.
Are we talking about somebody whose initials are AA?
No.
Really?
DD.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So we're not throwing names out there. We're just showing initials.
Yeah,
out there.
I would never say that Donovan Daniels is a scumbag that I punched in the face, and I'll do it again. So you want to check it, time it anywhere, any place, pal, because I'll come to you and I'll pop you right in the mouth again.
Well, there we go. We already started off hot right here. We just had something good.
Oh, were we supposed to say that out loud? Oops, my bad. What's he going to do? Here, go to the internet, blast me, pal, because if you want to blast me, I can go ahead and say why you got popped in the mouth. Could it be because you're a scumbag that talks about children? Ow!
That's a little rough there, TKO, but true.
I'm a rough guy, but I'm an honest guy.
That's very true. It's very, very much truthful what you just said. We have to set the record straight, though, here. It was not only that was the reason that he got popped in the mouth, but it was because he was popping off at the mouth as well and didn't realize that he was speaking to somebody that you can't disrespect like that.
I'll give him credit. He had the courage inside of him to run his mouth and say something he knew he shouldn't have said, and it involved one of my personal children, so he got socked for it. And then he thought everybody's going to have his back, including AJ. And AJ and me, we instantly, so behind the scenes little story to pull that curtain, I went straight to AJ. We don't got a problem. I don't want a problem with you. You want a problem with me? Let's handle it. And AJ's like, nope, he deserved everything he got. I respect you 100% because he knows I love his family. But it doesn't have to be just my kid, for the record. If anybody has somebody out there that wants to run their mouth about children, send them my way. I'm the guy that'll punch people in the face.
That is very true. He will. He'll take care of any problem that you have if it arises.
The question is now. The question is now. Who's the first one typing to him? Is it a guy with no teeth or is it a guy with glasses? If you know, you know.
It's probably the guy with glasses, to be honest with you. So we're not mentioning.
I told you we're going to come out swinging. Hey, I almost canceled Wrestle Talk Live just for saying that I got a leg to stand on and another guy doesn't. And he couldn't handle it in his little heart.
Well, let's
let's
set up that whole story though. You get invited to another Wrestle Talk, a very prominent Wrestle Talk, and you go on the show and you're there, and the guy supposedly says, I can take anything you're going to give to me, yada, yada, yada. And you said, okay, let's do this. Let's cut a promo. Let's have some fun.
Yep.
Well, turned out it wasn't so much fun in that promo. So let's talk about that. Go for
it. There's so many good parts of this story. So we go on there, and brother's looking at me, and he's like, before we go out there, do you anything that you don't want said? Nah, brother, just don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my kids, and we're good. And I was like, what about you on the flip side? Is there anything you don't want me to touch on, come at you after? Like, is there anything that you don't want done? You can't hurt me. Nothing, no words can hurt me. Well, I'm not going to touch your family and everything then, but everything else is good. Yeah, I'll make fun of your weight gain. Cool. Throw it at me. Trust me. You can make fun of my weight gain, but as you're making fun of me, I'm over here getting tacos for free, brother. So make fun of it. I'm not paying for my food like you. It doesn't affect me. Like I've heard it all. So we get out there and he's trying to chirple me and think he's poking the bear. Next thing he knows, that bear took that bite, and that bite hurt his little feelings. And he thought he could get me to fight on TV to get me in trouble with TMZ. But I know when the time might strike. So I kept it calm. He gave me his deal. It looked something like this. And that's literally what it felt like. I mean, maybe if he wouldn't have sit on a couple of his fingers and they wouldn't have went numb, he wouldn't have lost them if we're going to get to like how it is. But the best part is, what's funny is I just keep going. And this dude doesn't even like, he goes out there, they're trying to call the cops. I'm like, call the cops. I don't care. I did nothing here. Brother, you can get over it or you can leave. And then all that's done, I'll give him his credit. He just goes off into the distance. I reach out to him, was going to talk to him, make sure, he was all right. He has all his little minions that go online, and they start trying to, only one of them really tried to get tough. The other one, me and him talked. He's cool. He works with a bunch of schools. That guy, me and him handle it. We talk. He didn't know. But the other one that I guess thinks he's some kind of veteran didn't ever want to handle it. And he's the one that tried to act real tough and said he wanted to throw down. But we handled it too later when we saw each other. He didn't throw down. And if that offends him, boy, let me tell you where you're at. I'll pay you $50 to come see me. I've been punched by better people, and I don't care. Like, we can throw it out there. Am I a nice guy? I can be. But am I the worst person you've ever met that hurts your feelings at the snap of a finger? Yeah. And what happened with that is it was just so funny because – and that's the thing that I think ticked me off the most. The people that wanted to go chirping the birds, they didn't know the backstory. The brother told me there was no limits, and he was trying to fire me, and I fired back at him, and he got his little feelings hurt.
Well, TKO, you
happens.
Or SHIT, I can't say the word, but
Right.
I'll spell it out. You can either be that, one of the two. It just depends on how you interact with
Waffle
TKO.
House. I got a good Waffle House story that just recently happened. I probably, if I should say it, I'm probably going to get criminally held against me for this, but TMZ, get ready.
All
Turner's back in jail. So we were at Waffle House and we're going to pay. And I won't say the names of people that was there with me because some of them are under contract and I'm not going to put them at risk. So I see a golden opportunity to take a little tip off the table. So I snagged this little tip off the table, go up to pay my ticket, and he rings it on like, and there's no way brother didn't see me take it off the table. And he's like, here you go. Here's your change. Nah, kids, you keep the change. So I paid for my meal on somebody else's dime.
That is crazy. They're saying Waffle House brawl. What's the deal with the
Okay,
Waffle
one of the ones I wasn't going to name just said he was there.
Casey said that he was there. Isn't that some crap? So they asked about the Waffle House brawl. What happened with the Waffle House brawl?
The Waffle House brawl. Oh, what happened at the Waffle House brawl? I've been in a lot of those. I remember, God rest his soul, me and Brian Christopher were at a Waffle House in Kentucky, and we about beat the snot out of these three guys in the parking lot just for getting on our nerves. Then we forgot to pay our ticket. So then we told the Waffle House staff, if we could squat 2 of your staff members 50 times, you let us eat for free. So they sent 2 out there, and we did it. We squatted them 50 times, and we got to eat for free.
That's awesome.
There was definitely no substances or alcohol involved in that at all.
Nothing at all with Brian Christopher.
Straight edge.
Yeah, for sure. So Brian Christopher is a funny one that you mentioned because before he passed away, we got to meet him a couple times, and he was always really good to us in person, talked to us, treated us like family, invited us over sometimes. And one specific time he invited us over to his house, he had some other people waiting on him at his house because he forgot to pay some bills. We'll just say it like that. And so we're stuck kind of hostage at his house with him until he comes up with some money.
Yep.
So that's my Brian Christopher story for the day, and that's all I'm going to say because
I got so many of them. Most of them I cannot share on air. It's not been good, but it was always fun. Oh, the ketchup hat, Truck's birthday. Apparently, so KC goes to him and was like, I'm going to put mustard on his head. And he puts the mustard bottle and poses this stuff and fakes putting mustard on him. Well, obviously, if everybody hasn't seen anything, I don't fake anything. I don't care. I go over there and I'm like, Beasto. I'm going to show what he did with the mustard only with ketchup. So he believes me, and I squirted a giant ketchup hat on him that looked like Art the Clown's hat.
Should have made him go to the ring with it.
He also had a thing. So it was me, James, Lisa, and there was a few of us others there. We were at a Cracker Barrel, and I randomly got the Cracker Barrel waitress to have a runway model walk competition against me that, by the way, I won.
Voted upon by your peers, I guess.
Absolutely. They all voted me as the best runway model.
And with your acting experience, I mean, it probably played a good part there because you knew exactly what you were doing on that runway trying to make it happen.
Right?
So we just mentioned it. You're an actor as well. You've been in lots of things. You've been in Spiderman. You've been in the OC. You've been all over the place with The Walking Dead and so many more.
What they say about actors, right?
Well, they're all liars, apparently.
Exactly. This whole interview's been a lie. Everything I say is a lie except that and that and that and that.
So how did you break into the business there? What made you want to be an actor, and how did you just get fallen in there?
So long story short, I met Jesse Vint, and he was a legendary actor, and I hooked up with him, and he got me some opportunities that I can't tell the stories ever on air because I'm a jerk. And somehow being a jerk pays off. Let's just say that. Somehow being a jerk will pay off. If you're brutally honest, people will respect it. And my very first acting experience ever was on TNT's Leverage. I got to beat up Christian Kane. I got to have a stare down moment with Timothy Hudson. And I got to learn about squibs. That's where I have a gun, and I was literally shooting this car. And as I shoot this car, it's a blank, so it's a real bullet. That was not a good sick. Don't ever do that on your camera again. You're going to get a fine. But as I shot the gun, literally simultaneously, a guy standing over would click a button, and a bullet hole would blow out of the side of this car with just enough gunpowder to blow out the metal of the sheet of the car door. And it was the coolest thing I ever seen in my life. I was like, this is awesome.
And that experience stuck with you for a while.
I ended up doing Twilight, was one of the very next ones I did, and just a bunch of different ones. I got to meet Harrison Ford through it. I didn't have a clue who he was, so that was interesting. He asked me about Indiana Jones, and I told him I thought it sucked. He asked me about Star Wars, and I said I wasn't a nerd.
You did not.
Yeah, he's just a dude to me. I got into an argument with Ice Cube before because I didn't know who he was. And I'm like, brother, if your parents named you Ice Cube, it must have been a rough time in the 60s.
That was a rough day, right? That's awesome.
People are just people to me. Like, I don't recognize people. It is what it is.
Yeah. I still get starstruck with stuff, man, especially with wrestling. So I'm the biggest mark in the business.
I say that, but I did mark out one time so bad I could not even breathe. I couldn't talk. I was crying, and all I could do was mumble out the words, "I love you."
Tell us the story.
The Comic-Con doing an appearance on behalf of The Walking Dead, and Judith Hogue from the Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil, was there. And I absolutely diehard Turtle fans. Obviously, I call my kid Bebop. So I'm like, I can handle this. I can talk to her. I got this. I can do this. I can do this. I get to her, and I can't say a word. I'm just shaking, trembling. Oh, my God, I love you. And then she hugs me, and I felt like my knees were going to fall out from underneath me. And thankfully, Randy Lee from Pops for Patients at the time, now Playtime for Patients, he was there, and he just dove right in because he thought it was hilarious to do all the talking for me and tell her what I thought about her too. And it was so bad that thankfully it was a 3-day show, because the picture I took with her, I'm just like this.
You're really marked out.
And so I see the picture and I'm like, oh God, this is terrible. I cannot let this be the picture with her. So he's like, come with me. I got you. And he takes me back over there. We get to take another picture where, I'm all like sucking it in, trying to look as buff as I can for her. And she hugged me again. And then I about fainted.
Well, I'm the biggest mark in the business, man. I'll tell you, I don't have a problem talking to people, but I'm so nervous before I get to them. I get butterflies.
I mean, if you're in the business and you're not one, what are you doing in it if you don't love and respect it?
Well, that's just it. Is if you love and respect the business, you're still going to get that feeling every time that you perform, every time that you go out. Even days after I've performed, I think about what happened or what's been done, what's been said, and I get the butterflies still. I mean, even after, I have to watch stuff 2 and 3 times because I want to be a perfectionist with it. I want to make sure that we're not saying and repeating the same things over and over and over again, but we're hitting the points that need to be hit and talk about the things that need to be talked about. And I think that in wrestling, if you don't have that, I want to be better every day. I want to make sure whatever we're doing is better for the business every day, and that we're leaving the business in a better place than when we found it. Then we're making mistakes.
Good advice right there. And as I give this advice to everybody watching, there's going to be a lot of pops or OGs. Here we go. It's about to get started. I can give the best advice in the world that sums it up, that was taught to me by some very great people. And that is, including the names that I've already mentioned and the feelings I've already hurt. Let it be clear, let it be known. I don't hold a grudge. I don't care anymore. I don't hold a grudge. I got no beef with anybody. I just don't like you. And I'm not going to pretend that I like you, Jeff Kepler, Scott Elliott, Donovan Daniels. Do I need to go on? This is just local. Do you want me to get into big names? I can get into big names. I can really burn the world down.
That's up to you.
You know what? I know other people that don't like you. See, Kazana, truck. Oops.
Come on now. TKO, you don't think everybody just doesn't like them? Is it a consensus?
It's just what it is.
You really believe it is just what it is, or is there just?
I can be very nice, and these people, some of us have talked, and it's like, cool, we're good or whatever. But I'm not going to pretend to be your friend. I'm not going to go and have Sunday dinner with you. It is what it is. Doesn't mean we're going to have beef. I can just tell you, I think you suck as a person. You can say I suck as a person, and we can move on. And
that's called being.
The only reason I speak about some of these is here's the thing. Here's the funniest thing that I think is hilarious. Not all of them, and I don't really care about that, but most of the ones I've mentioned thinks it is a wonderful thing to go out there and do this. But when they do that, if you notice, it's always behind somebody's back.
Very true.
And this is a true thing, and this goes out to advice for everybody. Don't ever speak behind somebody's back because you're a coward. I'll speak right to your face. And if I can't speak to your face because you're going to lie through your teeth, if you have any, you're going to make me mad. And I don't feel like catching a charge. I'll just go publicly where I know you can hear it and say, I don't like you. I don't care. Have a wonderful day. I wish you the best. I hope you're the most successful guy in this business. I hope all your dreams come true. I hope you have a wonderful life and then die.
Very interesting, TKO. That's a nice take on it. But you got to explain the beef with some of these people, especially like Scott Elliott. What's the beef there?
Don't disrespect any and this goes for Kepler too, don't disrespect any of the Kazanas. I am a Kazana guy. Joe Kazana, I still mark out for this day. That is one of the guys that I put very high up there. Like Joe Kazana and Mac McMurray are absolutely top tier of my list. I respect them. And I don't care if your situation was with any of the Kazanas and you claim you handled it. Once you disrespect a Kazana or Mac McMurray, you're done to me. I don't, certain things I don't give second chances on. Disrespect my family, disrespect my kids, disrespect my wife. Notice I said family. Kazanas, Mac McMurray, James and Lisa Strange. There's a lot of people that signify that family. Family isn't blood. Family is family. And I am a very high person on don't disrespect. At least, Now, I'll give credit. Some of these, only one of these people has actually had the nerve to do it to their face. And that is respect, but tough luck. I'll hurt your feelings. Like I said, we're going to get this raw and real, and then we can get into the fun stuff. But I like being raw and real. I like getting it to where people know the truth. Like, I'll pull that curtain back and let you know if I like you or not.
Well, TKO, I'm the type of person, if I've got a problem, let's talk about it behind closed doors, but it's going to be me and you talking about it behind closed doors. So if I've got a problem.
Hey, the greatest thing about these people is they all owe me $50 now.
All owe you $50?
Yeah, because nobody else is going to talk about them. And the guy from The Walking Dead on TMZ just put you over as a scumbag instead of punch you in the mouth. So now you got noticed. People's going to look your Facebook up. Congratulations. I just made you relevant and gave you 15 minutes of fame.
That's really true. You really did there. So they do owe you something. If nothing else, a thank you for that, because somebody's going to be looking out for them. But what I was saying is, if I've got a problem with you, I'm the type of person, let's go behind closed doors and we're going to talk. And if we can't work it out there, we're going to work it out somewhere else.
You know the best thing about having a problem with somebody, and I know Lisa loves that this is my motto. And so does James, I'm sure, too. If I have a beef with you and I don't like you, here's the deal, though. There's a parking lot. We can go in that parking lot. We can scrap it out. We can beat each other, and the last one standing can help the one up and be like, we good now? All right, let's go have a beer. You don't have to be friends, but we can sit there and we can slug it out, and then we can go have a drink and put it to an end. And you know what? I will give credit to one guy, and this is going to catch this guy a lot of flack. But if anybody wants to come talking smack, and maybe they don't want to throw down with old TKO, hit up Chris Thompson, also known as Truck. Yeah, I used your real name. Hit up Truck. And I know for a fact he's already been there. It's already happened when somebody thought they could pop off the hip. It's a nobody crackhead that it's a shame he's not already 6 foot in the ground. But he thought he could, pop off the hip and make some snood comments. And when he found out it's go time, he didn't want to go. But then when he thought he was going to get a cheap shot in, it got shut down real fast when he looked and he saw Truck stand up, and Truck was just like this, ready to go. He was locked and loaded. That then this grown man literally broke down, bawling in tears, running outside in fear. And that was not because of me. That was because a Truck was locked, loaded, and ready to strike. And that's a real dude right there.
He was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about some problems that he's had with you guys. He was talking about how the Saviors are in a feud currently with ICT, and how ICT is looking to catch a good victory over him in the future. But he was
Truck's a good guy, but that's not going to happen.
Well, Truck was also talking about how he believes that he's one of the toughest and strongest in the business and will take on anybody, including his own partner. He mentioned that he was going to be at a show in Gastonia, North Carolina, and he was for See No Evil Wrestling, where he was going to be taking on. Yeah, he sure did.
Said that.
He did. I have it recorded on our Buzzsprout. You can go back and check it through buzzsprout.com.
Scoring that one up there. Scoring that one up there.
So I don't think that,
You want to know the best kind of clown there is on behalf of Squeaks or Mike Clay or any clown watching?
Yeah, sure.
It's a sad clown that doesn't say anything and stays away from me. I don't like clowns.
I love how you mentioned Mike Clay. Just out of the blue, you just threw
Mike
his name
Clay
out.
is the worst clown on the face of the planet.
You think so?
I absolutely despise legitimately that clown.
He travels around everywhere, though. I have to give him the credit. He is in the business to be in the business, and he sells
People love to look at a circus freak show, and Mike Clay is a circus freak show. Mike Clay is a stupid clown. Mike Clay has been beaten by me multiple times, and he got on my nerves because all he wants to do is these clowny gags. Oh, look at me, be a clown. Well, when you're playing handkerchief, I'll punch you in the mouth. And because I punched you in the mouth while you were playing handkerchief, Mike Clay, let's just go ahead and show this beautiful title that I won. Punching Mike Clay in the mouth for real, which nobody else has ever done.
Very true. Very true.
See, Mike Clay plays clown like Alex Summers plays wrestler when TKO knocks your teeth down your throat and walks away with gold.
Very interesting. So now you've thrown two under the bus. You've thrown Alex Summers under the bus with Mike Clay. Is there a possibility for a three-way going to be happening there for that title?
Oh, for this one?
Yes, sir.
Or for this one?
Any of them?
No, they don't deserve it.
You don't think so?
No. There's bigger fish to fry than beating the same guys over and over and over again.
But it's how you beat them is what matters. And I
beat them with a 1, 2, 3.
I think that's the difference that we're talking about here, because there were some very peculiar situations that took place with Mike Clay, if I do remember. I believe something was thrown into the ring.
Are you trying to level me over here with the scum that we talked about? Like I'm a little scummy and would cheat? I don't cheat. But that's why also I have this title.
Oh, come on, TKO. You just said you're a trained actor and everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. And we're supposed to take it as everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie.
Except this.
Except this. Okay. All right. I got that. Casey Kazana wants to know, is the title up for grabs, bub?
I mean, if Casey Kazana wants to lose his NWA title and see what it's like to hit puberty and fight a man.
Wow. So, okay for you to disrespect the Kazanas, not okay for anybody else.
No, just KC.
Just KC.
That's because I'm like, he's like my loving little, he's like a little brother, a little nephew. I can, but Joe's up here.
Gotcha. Now, I understand.
Joe, here's the thing about Joe Kazana and why I don't care to say, Casey don't really want to fight me either. He knows if he wanted it, I would give him an opportunity, but it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have to fight. When you love somebody as a family, you want to keep it calm. KC needs to focus on his road and stay right here and do the wonderful things to become a future Hall of Famer like the Kazanas will do, and just let me continue to just plow down the ones that need to lay down. Well, example, Evan Golden.
Casey is still hurt. I mean, he's still got that foot injury that's going on, and I don't think he can compete currently. But
about the foot injury, if we're going to talk about the foot injury.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
This is why I have a problem with Evan Golden. They claim to be, they have this history of spatting, not spatting, loving each other, not loving each other. If you watch tapes and when things get real, like we got real earlier, when things get real, and there was a moment that Casey could have been hurt. Who was the first realest dude you saw hit that ring and was right there for him, checking on him?
That would be you.
It would be me. Because if something happens to that kid, it is on me. I will always protect him. I will always be there for him. Hence why I said, if you got a problem with the Kazanas, you got a problem with me. I will always, always, always be there to protect him. Whether he's in the right or wrong, you still might get popped. And then I'll be like, dude, you made me pop this guy because of what you did. And if he is hurt, I'm the guy that's going to be there to pick him up and get him back to where he needs to be. So, KC. And here's the great thing about that. Everybody remembers the flyer TKO KC Kazana, the fight that never happened. Maybe ultimately it's for a good cause that fight never happened.
Or could it be because somebody was chicken and backed out?
Don't talk about Casey that way. Casey is a young, up-and-coming kid with a lot of grit and grind. I don't think he's afraid. I think he's just smart.
I don't think that he was going to be ready to get his mouth handed to him. His butt handed to him.
He had a weak ankle. Would I? And here's a question I've actually been asked by a few people. If you would have got the chance to go after Casey Kazana and the ankle injury hadn't happened, but it was weak, would I have struck the ankle? Well, here's your answer. Would I?
I think you would have. I think you would have went after it with a nice little baseball bat you like to carry around, and you would have attacked it to the point of maybe no return for Casey Kazana. Because I'm a nice, humble guy. When you see weakness, you attack it like a wild animal.
Is it weakness or is it being humbled and smart, and that's what puts these on my shoulder?
It's not a weakness for you. It's a weakness for them. So you're like the wild animal. Let's just call it what it is. Whenever you smell that blood in the water.
What kind of animal?
We're talking about a shark here, but,
I fought a shark one time.
Did you really?
No, but it sounded cool.
Well, you're like a shark, man. When you smell that blood in the water, you capitalize on it in a big way. So if he would have been injured, or you would have known that he would have been injured, you would have went after it. And I know you would have. There's no doubt in my mind. And the real question becomes, what would have happened to Casey Kazana if that would have happened?
Thankfully, we'll never know, because the possibility of ever seeing Casey Kazana and TKO in the same ring is never going to happen. Don't get confused, because I know a lot of people are getting confused. And you can pull it up. The Cobra Strikes Back is one of the best flyers that I've ever seen made in a long time. It's an amazing flyer, but people are getting the wrong assumption from that flyer. People are getting the assumption that TKO might actually want to battle the Kazanas. I don't want to battle the Kazanas. That's never going to happen. Get it out of your hearts and mind. I am one doing my duty from not just the Walking Dead saviors, taking the saviors in the real life and changing lives and letting people understand. Even the wrestling business isn't a democracy. Nothing is up for debate. There is one simple rule. There's no votes. There's no question. There's simply step up and take what is yours. And if you have it, I will take it.
Well, that's life in general. If you have the opportunity presented in front of you, you have to step up to the plate and take it. If you don't, you're letting your life go by you. And a lot of it's just being at the right place at the right time. And it's not necessarily knowing the right people, but it's stepping up to the plate so that people get to know who you are. And you've done that really great. Just like another man who's came in here, who's claiming that you're going to lose your titles just like you did your acting career. Mr. Rick Hayes is here.
Who?
Rick Hayes.
Who's that?
That's a good question, but he's here.
Exactly.
He's SOB.
Exactly. I asked you, who's that? You said that's a good question. Now let me ask you this. Who is TKO?
TKO is worldwide renowned professional wrestler and actor. And he does a lot more.
Thank you. End of discussion. Have a nice night, Rick. You just got 5 minutes of fame like the rest.
TKO, that's a little rough there. 5 minutes of fame? I mean, he may have a claim here, especially since you're bringing up Mike Clay and you're bringing up Alex Summers. The next one on the list would be that SOB.
Here's the thing. Here's a wonderful thing, and I'll even put some gold on my shoulder to state this. We can take Rick Hayes. We can take Mike Clay. We can take Alex Summers and anybody else you really want to list. But let's just go with those three. Here's those three guys sitting right here. Woo! Let's talk about their accomplishments and who they really are. Oh, wow, that took a lot of time. Wow, that was a wonderful, great speech. Good job, guys. Now let's go to this hand, TKO. Let's talk about his accomplishments. Multi-time champion in multi-states on the world's biggest breaking record show in history, The Walking Dead. Want me to go through the list of all the other films I've done? We don't got that much time tonight. Trained by Rip Rogers and Nick Dinsmore at the original Ohio Valley Wrestling. Worked for the original NWA territories before. Went and got to have spots and work with Ring of Honor. I can go on all night long. Performed at DragonCON. Now, let's go back over to the other hand. Rick Hayes, Mike Clay, Alex Summers. Maybe we didn't give you enough time last time. Let's hear your list of accomplishments. Wow, that was a great job.
Well, for each of them, I know that Alex Summers is a multi-time U.S. champion in several different promotions, including APW and WPA and JCI. And then he also got some clarity in TWE there for a little bit, and he was running amok in TWE. Now, as far as Mike Clay, I know
Where's TWE right now?
They are shut down currently.
Exactly. Next.
So Mike Clay was also a part of that with TWE, and he's also running with Paulie and the big boys down there. He has some stuff going on down there. Now, I don't know if he's won any titles with them recently, but I do know that he is definitely renowned in multi-states.
William, Dustin Starr does not want to fight me again. Dustin Starr had never been in a real fight in his life until he met me, and he thought he got the upper. Okay, so Dustin Starr thought he got the upper hand on me by attacking me at a Comic-Con, and that wasn't scripted, that wasn't play, that wasn't planned. He literally got overfeared because he heard through the grapevine, through the history, that, hey, I've done this for a while. I know people talk. I know I got a reputation, and my reputation is I don't play. I hit for real. We're going to go out there and we're going to fight. That's going to be the fight of your life. So Dustin did exactly what any man would do. He got scared and he attacked me like a coward, but I was smarter than him. He plays checkers. I play chess. I literally made him thought I was hurt. And we were supposed to have a sanctioned wrestling match at TupeloCon. You know what? There wasn't a wrestling move done. I beat the far out of that boy. We broke 498 chairs that night.
Holy crap.
I literally beat the far out of him. Then we went to the casino in Tupelo and headlined the casino. He thought it would be a wrestling match again, and I changed it on the fly and said there is no rules. And I beat this dude like he's never been beaten before. The only reason he beat me is because of his little girlfriend. Because no matter how mad I get, no matter how big of a jerk I am, I won't lay my hands on a woman. So some people take advantage of that. And so Dustin Starr took advantage of that. Big Dwayne Smith's in here. If you ever need big, good beard care, check out his beard care. But let me explain something about that too. As big as Dwayne is, and if you don't know Dwayne, check him out. Titan, best beard care you ever will. This dude is literally the size of a grizzly bear. And he found out the hard way when I smacked him across the face when he wanted to get in the ring with me that guess what? Josh don't pull back. Josh hits you for real. And I put him to the mat one too many times as well. Did I not, Dwayne? It's just who I am.
Well, we're running out of time here, TKO, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be packed away here real quickly. First of all, we're going to talk about the School of Morton and Legacy. Legacy is a brand new show that's going to be taking place at the School of Morton every other Sunday, and you can catch it on their YouTube page at Ricky Morton is where you want to subscribe to it at. And let me show you some.
Better check it out because you know why? It's got Casey Kazana, Michael Gabriel, Evan Golden, Max. It's got Connor, but most importantly, it's got Mantis and it's got yours truly on there. So you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. I could not agree more with that. And if you want tickets, you can scan the QR code right there or scan this one that's popping up for you. We have a special promo code for you. You can type it in at checkout. It's called Rabid Beaver. That's capital RABID, capital BEAVER all together. And you will get a special discount on those tickets from ticketleap.com. You definitely want to be able to do that. Now, Legacy is starting up. And like you said, it's got a lot of stars that's going to be happening with it.
And every night you come to Legacy, you can see the wonderful, even more controversial than me, CEO Lisa Strange, and the most humble, sweetest cutie patootie, James Strange.
That is very true. I like how you flip those around for the CEO and the cutie patootie there. That was nice little psychological play there. I'll give that one to you. You also have, which we mentioned earlier, going to be taking place April 5th and 6th, 2025 at the School of Morton. Santino Marella is going to be there, and he is going to be teaching some classes that's going to be taking place right there, 128 Five Rivers Plaza, Newport, Tennessee is where it's going to be. And you will have
to that real fast. Santino Marella is one of the absolute most humble, greatest people you could ever meet in your life. Very, very smart when it comes to in-ring, out of the ring, character work, no matter what you name. Dude had a tremendous career in Japan. And here's the cold, hard truth. Even if I don't like you, take advantage of this, because you can excel yourself through him in so many ways, and he's so super talented. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. And, you know, he's with TNA. Let me go ahead and make a little TNA assessment on behalf of Evan Golden. Maybe I'll wind up catching Evan, and I'll totally nonstop kicking his.
I got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down there. Also, on the 6th, we're going to be doing the Cobra Strikes Back, which you mentioned earlier several times. This is going to be the graphics for it there. And as you see, Josh Turner TKO with Ryan Mantis is going to be there. Casey Kazana, Evan Golden, Truck, the American Diesel Dump Truck is going to be there. Joe Kazana, Papa Joe is supposed to be there. Santino Marella.
Don't get confused, though. I know it looks like it. I will not fight the Kazanas. That's just not happening. I will not. And so, actually, also, this flyer, there is an updated flyer to show how much I would never fight the Kazanas. I'm going to be the one to announce AJ Kazana has just signed on to be there. Not one, not two, but all three of the NWA's country gentlemen, the United States Tag Team Champions.
That is big news there, TKO. But as with this flyer, as you see, there's 2 QR codes on both sides. You need to scan those right now. Get your tickets right now. Get them up and going for you right now through ticketleap.com. And guess what? You will get that special promo code and that special pricing as well with the Rabid Beaver right there for the Cobra Strikes Back, which is going to be taking place April 6th, 2025, 128 Five Rivers Plaza in Newport, Tennessee is where it's going to be going down. Now, you have a personal YouTube page as well that you got, and it's at Little Crazy, a.k.a. the at Savior TKO. And this is what the page looks like directly for you. He definitely wants you to like and follow and subscribe. Now, do you have anything that you want to say directly about this?
I want to say that YouTube is going to get sued. Scroll down. Stop right there, up a little bit. We're going to take people's time and go a little over. The Wrestler Within, a great short film that Travis Seagraves did. I've got some other good films on there. But why in the world would YouTube allow an image of a golden idiot holding one of my titles as the picture to be shown? When, okay, there's a kid named Evan Golden that might be in this, and then there's an actual real celebrity superstar. YouTube will be getting a cease and desist. This is ridiculous. That should not be put on there. When I start a video, Evan Golden should always be in the background.
Maybe he's got the golden touch for acting.
He's got golden something.
He's got golden something. I love it. Also, guys, apparently, as we've talked about earlier with the YouTube page, you're going to be on the Ricky Morton YouTube page for the School of Morton. Is that correct? Coming up with some episodes. And also the Bunkhouse, when the Bunkhouse airs, you're going to be right there, and you can follow it at Ricky Morton through YouTube as well. And as you see here, there's going to be lots of episodes that you can check out previously, and some that are going to be current coming up. That's going to have our favorite man right here, TKO, right involved with them.
Why does it keep scroll back down? Just check out the School of Morton, subscribe to it. You're going to see great things. Up, down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit. Right there, stop. Why is Evan Golden being shown again? There is too much talent at this school for literally, if you look at this picture, everybody, I want you to think one thing when you see Evan Golden. Hi, Amber Heard. Please don't poop on my bed.
Really? That's what you're going with?
Look at him. That's literally Amber Heard standing.
That's not even close, guys. All right. So you've got some merchandise available as well on ProWrestlingTees.com. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. If you want to be one of the most controversial people you've ever known to death, support TKO.
And here we go. So on your page, it's going to be under Savior TKO. You can check it out. TKO Turner is what it's got on. And you have lots of shirts available here for buying for your customers, for all your fans, everybody that wants one. Come and get one. He has special sizes available.
Hey, Joseph, how come you never sent somebody the link?
I am. You just didn't give
me.
No,
exactly. You never sent him the link. Remember what I said? Most controversial guy? I just read the message. I've been sitting here with you beforehand, and you sent him the link. Brother, we just had to talk about being honest.
I am sending him a link. Look, it's on the page right here.
No, I'm talking about the other one that didn't get the link up on the one page. You never sent it to him.
Which one? Which page are you talking about?
So before we started, when you were waiting on somebody to tune in?
Oh, no, I can show you that. You want to see the messages?
Let's air the messages right here, right now.
There's the link right
at 7:04. You got sent a link. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna try to block out some other stuff because I love being the controversial guy.
All right, guys, but as you see on the QR code that's right here, that is going to get you directly to TKO's Pro Wrestling Tees commercial page right here.
Buy my shirt, be controversial. Don't say you didn't get a link when you got a link sent to you. Come on. You think I'm going to let Joseph be run under the bus? No. I got your back, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I actually sent him another one earlier in the day as well when it first came out about the same time I sent it to you. Also,
I just don't got signal, brother. I don't got signal. I broke my finger the other day when I was trying to get that one out of my nose. What's the excuse going to be next, you punk?
I've got merchandise available as well for you. You can go to streamlabs.com/rabbitbeaver/merch, and it'll take you to this nice little page, or you can scan that QR code right there. You can get all your Wrestle Talk merch as well with our Campbell to Adventures merch and our Rabid Beaver gaming and live streaming merch as well, as you see right there. So we have stuff available for you too. Just go ahead and scan that QR code whenever you're ready.
And buy a shirt from Rabid Beaver, buy a shirt from TKO, or I'll punch you in the face and you're going to look like Toothless the Dragon we mentioned earlier.
And before we go, if you want to be a member of our Power Slam Club, you can do that through buzzsprout.com, and it's going to be 228-9100/support is how you're going to get a hold of that. That will take you directly to our Wrestle Talk with the Rabid Beaver page. You can donate. You can be a love donation once a month, once a week, one-time donation, however you want to do it. And you can do that for as little as $3 a month or a $3 donation one time for you. And that will give you all access to all of our episodes that are available anytime that they go up, which your episode is going to be airing on the 16th, I do believe.
Love you, brother. You're at Santiago. If you've not heard of Santiago, check him out. One of the best you could ever watch.
Absolutely. And TKO, your episode should be on the 16th or before. If they give me the time back before then, I'll let you know.
If they see this and they're like, absolutely not. That guy's too raw and real. Also, everybody, before we go, please, 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 please look up Playtime for Patients. Look up Waiting to Hear. Look up the Julia Barber Foundation. Look up Wrestling for a Cause. Look up Fighting for Autism. And no matter how you feel about anybody in this world, put it to the side and understand making a difference means starting with you. One person can change the world. Let's be a voice for the voiceless, and let's help one another and build a foundation for the future, our children. And the only special need that you need to know about is nobody needs are different than anybody else's. We're all the same in this fight, and let's fight together.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And listen, before we go, I've got to get a commitment from you. Would you like to come back on the show sometime in the future?
Oh, absolutely. You name the date, and let's go ahead and bury about 30 more people.
All right. That sounds great. Well, stick around after we're done, and we'll definitely be here. Guys, thank you so much for being here. All the fans that came in, all of Josh Turner's fans, all those that wanted to know what he was going to say, how controversial he was going to be. Thank you guys for coming in and being here. You guys rock. As he says right here, TKO, you rock. Larry Brewer.
Also, one last thing. Remember, and this, if you know, you never stop paying your dues in this business, and you can't get out of that with a joke. Put your hands to work.
Absolutely. I believe that 100%. Leave the business better than you found it yesterday, and always strive to be better. And remember, you guys heard it here first on Wrestle Talk with Rabid Beaver. Thank you, TKO.
Much love, William. Tell your daughter I said, hey.